Hi, I'm Samuel Carter and we're back to the cancer series. Today we're meeting with Mr. Rick, who earlier this year had a sore throat and hoarseness. He never smoked cigarettes, but he now has cancer in the voice box.
General manager of an automotive center, and basically I take care of day-to-day situations at the store and make sure that it runs correctly, and sort of like a fireman that puts out all the fires and does just about everything he needs to do to make sure that the store runs efficiently and profitably.
When you find out that someone you care about has got cancer, you don't know anything about how to proceed or what's going to happen, how to deal with it, and I think we've had to learn a lot as we've gone along.
Well, the cancer that I have is throat cancer. It's basically, I guess, towards my voice box, and it is causing me a little bit of pain and discomfort.
Can you tell us what it was like when you first learned you had cancer?
Well, I learned that when I was actually coming out of a surgery, and the doctor basically told my wife, and my wife said that she'd like to tell me, so she said, look, it looks like you have cancer. And when I found out about that, you know, I was still a little bit not all there, but still understood exactly what was going on, and it was a little bit of a hard thing to accept. I mean, it sort of took the legs out a little bit from underneath me, but you know, things change, and you have to grow, and you have to find out what's best for you and what you need to get done.
So what happened after that?
Well, after that, we started thinking, and I decided it was time to make some goals. It's just like being a hurdler, you know, a track hurdler. You find out what you have, you run straight at it, you take a leap, and with the help of the faith of your God and the faith of yourself, you land on your 2 feet afterwards, and then you go to the next hurdle and try to finish. That's the most important part. So you set goals, and one of the goals I made was asking my God and my faith on where I thought my minimum life expectancy was going to be, and it's 87 is what I came up with. So 87 is the head I made for myself as a goal, and I wore it every single day when I came to treatments. And with that, I mean, that's not my total. I mean, I'm Polish, and in Poland we don't sing happy birthday, we sing 100 years, 100 years, may you live 100 years, and I totally expect to be here for 100 years. So those are my goals, but I would say that the most important thing is to set goals.
So what treatments did you receive?
Well, I received radiation treatment, and I received a type of chemo treatment. Both of those are supposed to give me a good percentage of making sure that the cancer goes away.
What was the worst part?
The worst part, I would probably say, would be the making of the mask and the PET scan. Yeah, I never was claustrophobic, but with that, it sort of turned me a little bit claustrophobic, so it was a little bit tough. You have to try to breathe underneath that mask and try to focus yourself, and you can't move, and that was a little bit tough because I'm a control person. I don't like having control taken away from me. So it was a little bit tough, and that was a hurdle that I had to overcome. And with many prayers and many thoughts, I overcame them.
What was the best part?
The best part, I would say to anyone, is make sure you have your spouse, your wife, with you at the treatments. Having her here was the best thing that could have happened to me on every single treatment, because she basically supported me, and I knew that no matter what I was going to go through, she was going to be there.
Came to every single appointment with him, didn't miss any, sat and held his hands during chemo, made a lot of runs to the drugstore, sat up a lot of nights and cried. Just let him know that somebody cared.
And you need an advocate. You need someone to be with you to make sure that the process is easy for you and that there are no hurdles that are going to be too large to jump. Faith is a very important thing while you're going through this. I am basically a Christian and a Catholic, and I went to a church and I had to pray on a lot of situations to see where we're going and where I'm going to end up. And the strange part is that while we were going, all the sermons happened to be sort of focused on what I was going through during the time that I was going through it. So my wife and I kept looking at each other going like, wow, how is this happening? Why all these answers are coming to us while we're at church and during the sermons. So it was very important for us to sit there and listen and absorb all this stuff, and we would go home and we would talk about this repeatedly, about the priests and the people around me that were sort of knowing that I had a lot of thoughts that I had to go through, and they were giving me a lot of the answers. So my faith is very important to me, and I think, again, through multiple prayers, I think I strengthened myself internally to be able to get through this.
How did your faith affect you during this process?
It basically gave me a lot more strength. During a lot of the treatments, especially in the radiation while I was under the mask, and you would have the fears of, again, control being taken away from you and everything like that, I would use prayers that I used in church, and I would actually say them during the process internally to myself. In other words, think of them, and that would get me through. I would feel a lot more strength and a lot more power in myself through the prayers that I was saying. So that got me through many of the treatments that I was having.
Did this cancer experience affect your faith at all, for better or for worse?
Oh, it's definitely for better. It basically made me look inside myself and see who's actually in there. And it would actually make me think about what I was doing that wasn't correct before, and now what I need to do that is correct, and where I need to go with my thoughts and how I can help more people. Because, you know, you sort of think of yourself a lot of times and not everybody else, and then when something happens to you, sometimes you forget about the fact that there are a lot of other people that are having the same issues, and there's sometimes nobody there to help them out. So with my faith and the faith of what I feel I have to do with my religion, I'm going to help a lot more of other people who possibly are going through hardships and stuff like that, if not cancer, other things that will strengthen them and give them the ideals that I have and the goals that I have set, and help them make their own goals, and so they can get through this process.
Is there any wisdom that you would like to share with others that you might have gained from this experience?
Yeah, the wisdom that I have to say is, again, make sure you have someone with you. Make sure you have the strength of another person, like your wife, your spouse, a good patient advocate, someone from the social center. And if you don't have somebody, make sure you find somebody. Whether it's start and go to church. As of right now, I mean, church doesn't, the religions don't look at you as the fact that, oh, you're starting today, or you haven't been coming, so why should we help you? If you have to start today, start today. Get in there and have somebody help you, and have the church strengthen you, and have your religion bring you to where you need to be to get through this. Big. I am a very stubborn person, and I would say to everybody to be stubborn. Don't let it beat you. You beat it. You know, it's something that you're going to have to push hard on, and you're going to have to overcome, and set your goals, and don't let anybody take that away from you.
Thank you.